What's happening, people? I hope you're all well. So Gervonta Davis beats Hector Garcia in the 9th round. Well, it was a retirement because Garcia got hit in the 8th round and didn't come out for round 9. So to me, Davis looked better in this fight than he looked against Ramiro in his last fight. In the fight against Ramiro, I know he was just kind of like downloading information about Ramiro, and then he walked him onto a punch, which was a good punch, and he did that well. But prior to that, I thought that Davis looked very hittable against Ramiro. He looked a bit sluggish against Ramiro. But in this fight here, although he was getting caught, to me he just looked a bit sharper than he did against Ramiro. So to me, that was a positive thing, and he performed relatively well against Garcia. Garcia came into the fight undefeated. He came into the fight undefeated, and he has an amateur background. I'm not going to make out that I know a lot about Garcia, but he clearly has technical skill. He doesn't punch as hard as Ramiro, and he doesn't punch as hard as Davis, but technically he was pretty solid, and he was catching Davis with quite a lot of regularity, coming into this fight undefeated with 10 knockouts, so clearly can punch a bit, although I didn't think he looked like a massive puncher. So I think that Garcia was a decent opponent. Obviously, Ryan Garcia is the fight that people wanted to see, and I think that with Ryan Garcia, I think that Gervonta Davis could probably beat Ryan Garcia. I'm just going to have a look at Ryan Garcia. I think that Davis can probably beat Ryan Garcia, in my opinion. And the reason for that is because I think that Ryan Garcia is a fighter who can be roughed up a bit. I saw the sparring footage against Ramiro. Now, I know Ryan Garcia is fighting at 140, so that is super lightweight as opposed to the lightweight that Davis is fighting at. I think that I saw the footage of Ryan Garcia fighting against Ramiro, and to me, although Ryan Garcia had the superior technical skill, I thought that he was getting roughed up in there. I can see a scenario where Ryan Garcia is beating Davis on points and then gets himself knocked out. I can see that happening. That's not to say it's definitely going to happen, but I can see that scenario happening if those two were to fight. But in this fight here, although Davis was getting caught, I think that overall it was positive with regards to how he looked in this fight as opposed to the last fight. I think that he probably beats Ryan Garcia, although I wouldn't be surprised to see Garcia taking multiple rounds off him. With regards to Devin Haney, that is an interesting fight because Devin Haney is a orthodox fighter and Davis is a southpaw fighter. Now, if Davis was a orthodox fighter, I would say that Haney could quite conceivably outbox Davis over 12 rounds. I can see that happening. I can see if Davis was an orthodox fighter. Now, I know that's not, I know he's not an orthodox fighter, but if Davis was an orthodox fighter, I could see Haney outboxing Davis. But because Davis is a southpaw, if Davis can, cancel out or take away Haney's lead hand, then I think that Davis has a chance. And as a southpaw, he has more of an ability to do it, in my opinion. So I think that Haney, if he was facing Davis and Davis was an orthodox fighter, then he would have an easier time. But because Davis is a southpaw, if he can work on his lead hand control, then I think that is a fight that Davis can actually win. So that fight to me is interesting. And but with regards to this fight, Davis gets the job done. Really and truthfully, Garcia did quit. You know, he did quit because he took the punch, he was rocked, he got through the round and then he didn't come out. Now, I don't know if it was a serious injury or not, but just the fact is he did quit, or his corner pulled him out, one of the two. So I think that, you know, it is what it is with regards to this fight. It was a competitive fight, and a fight ultimately that Davis was able to get a victory in by knockout, and Davis can punch. So against Haney, that's an interesting fight. Against Garcia, that's an interesting fight. Let's see what happens next. What did you make of the fight? Like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, hit the notification bell so you get a notification when I make a new video, and I'll see you on the next video.